U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd warned Ukraine against secret covert operation, according to the New York Times, and all because of the phone call between Lloyd and Russia's Defense Minister Andrey Belousov. This was reported by the New York Times, and some details about this secret conversation between two ministers. Russia's Defense Minister Andrey Belousov called U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd in the beginning of July and asked him about Ukraine's secret covert operation. Belousov asked Austin if he knew about such Ukrainian plans, and after this conversation, Lloyd warned Ukraine against this secret operation because of some concerns about the and because of fears of escalation. And here we go again with escalation, and this issue is still actual and still important and is still in play in the U.S. politics. Also, the New York Times reported that there have been only 5 such conversations between U.S. Defense Minister Lloyd and Russia's counterparts, Russia's Defense Ministry. But after those conversation in July, Ukraine has been warned by the United States not to conduct a covert secret operation, and it is all because U.S. fear of escalation, and there have been lots of concerns expressed by the United States about the escalation and the fears of escalation, and it seems like the U.S. is conducting and is establishing a lot of limits on Ukraine's capabilities, on Ukraine's covert capabilities, and also on long-range capabilities, because the U.S. government does not allow Ukraine to strike inside Russia with U.S.-made ATACMS missile or other weapons, and this fear of escalation is still in play in the White House and in the U.S. Politics. Also, there have been some concerns about escalation which have been reported by the New York Times after the Ukraine's attack on the Kerch Bridge. There have been lots of concerns about this, and the US does not allow and is not happy about such attacks against Russia's military installation in the Crimea. This has been reported by the New York Times, and we see that there are limitations on Ukraine's capabilities, long-range capabilities, and some covert operations in the middle of the war. Meanwhile, Russia's dictator Vladimir Putin has a hysteria because of the deployment of US-made Tomahawk missiles to Europe, to Germany. NATO allies agreed during the NATO summit in Washington to deploy additional Tomahawk missiles to Germany to protect German land against any threats, and Russian dictator Putin NATO warned US against deployment additional missiles to Europe. He said that in the response to that, Russia could deploy medium and small range missiles to Europe. It could be deployed to Kaliningrad or to other areas, for example, to the Russia's Navy fleet. But we also have a reaction from German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Olaf Scholz said that advised Russian dictator Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine in order to prevent deployment of additional weapons to Europe. Also, Olaf Scholz said that such deployment of Tomahawk missiles would not cause any kind of escalation. He said also that this decision is important to deter any attacks, any threats against Germany, to deter any attack against Germany. And he said also that the first thing Russia should do is to stop war of aggression against Ukraine and give up trying to conquer the whole country. Scholz advised Putin to stop the war, and then there will be no any additional deployment of weapons to Europe. Also, dictator Putin is so afraid of such additional deployment because such weapons, such missiles could target installations, weapons inside Russia, and could be dangerous for them in case of war, in case of aggression. Let's cover also US politics and US election campaigns, general election. ABC News reported that approval ratings of Kamala Harris have been increased significantly. ABC News reported that Kamala Harris has an approval rating for 40 to 43%, and this is really different from those figures, those numbers which were several weeks ago, or at least 1 week ago. But also ABC News reported that Donald Trump's approval ratings fell from 40% to 36% in 1 week. So we have Kamala Harris is gaining some ground and moving forward to possible victory, and many experts are confident that she can win and she can beat Donald Trump. Also, several days ago, New York Times reported that Kamala Harris has increased her own ratings in the general election poll. Also, let's cover the results of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visit to the United States. The Washington Post reported that all sides, President Biden, Kamala Harris, and even Donald Trump urged Netanyahu to end the war in Gaza. This was reported by many outlets, many articles, and there have been information that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris pressed Netanyahu to end the war, to seek peaceful settlement of the conflict, and to negotiate with Hamas to reach a deal to end the war and to release hostages. And it seems like the pressure is moving forward Netanyahu and is increasing towards the peaceful settlement of this conflict, and this was also reported by many US outlets. In the meantime, President of Turkey Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that Turkey could enter Israel in case of any kind of escalation. This has been reported by Reuters. Erdogan said that Israel is moving forward escalation. He said that Turkey could move forward, be strong, and enter Israel. Also, we have heard reaction to this from the Israeli government. They rejected the statement and rejected this idea and said that, and they reacted negatively to that. Also, Israeli Security Cabinet on Sunday authorized a response due to the latest escalation on the Middle East. Pro-Iranian group Hezbollah has attacked Israeli-controlled territory on the Golan Heights and on the Golan Heights that killed 12 teenagers and children. Israeli has said and has blamed the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah, and they could face retaliation, as well as other parties which are attacking Israel. And that's all for today. Stay with us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Glory to Ukraine.